Viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching EIE from. This is EIE Enough is Enough, your major favorite program talking about Nigerian politics and how we could move the country forward as a democrat nation. This morning we have a guest in the house. Is no other person than Mr. Magnus Oraka on a topic the Igbos need to get their perspectives right. Please, viewers, I want you to join me as we invite our guest into the studio this morning so we could deliberate on this issue at hand, on what is happening in Nigeria, on what we can do to see that we move the country to another level. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Magnus this morning into the studio. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon here. My name is Magnus Oraka, not Orika. My
Okay,
name is Magnus Oraka, not
I'm
Orika.
very sorry for the wrong pronunciation, sir. This morning, we have a topic before us, sir, Mr. Oraka. The Igbos need to get their perspectives right. In what sense do you think they need to get their perspective? Because before we get into this program, there was a post that I made on my platform. I said the Igbos are united, and I now make an open statement for my viewers to give me their own opinion if the Igbos are really united. So this morning, I want to get your own point of view. What perspective you think the Igbos are not getting right in our government and in our land and our country, Nigeria?
Okay, first and foremost, are people seeing me? Because it appears I can only see myself over here. I can't see you, the
You can see me?
host. I can't see you. Is it because I'm used to StreamYard and Be Live? In any
Oh,
case, if it's okay from your end, I can continue.
but I can see you. Uh, we have to be on the same. Okay, let me. But the viewers could see the both of us.
Anyway, it would have been far more comforting if, but that's not important. Let me go ahead.
Okay.
So, mm, you sure? My wife says she can't see me from the other end of the phone. Are you sure the viewers can see me?
Of course, I could give you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's not important. Let me go ahead.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, right? Nigeria has deteriorated to an inabsorbable position right now. First, let's not forget that when Buhari was coming in, we had quite a lot of people who actually believed he was going to bring the desired change because a lot of people believe he was a man of integrity. He had all it takes to be disciplined, and he was actually going to fight corruption. People like us told everybody who cared to listen then that a leopard never changes its spots, and there was going to be nothing different. Now it appears everybody who believed Buhari was going to change Nigeria to the best are among those also crying. Why I went through this way is to remind us that part of what is going on now, a lot of us have a share in the blame. Having said so, during this Buhari administration, we have had quite a lot of issues ranging from banditry, kidnapping, Boko Haram menaces, not I don't want to use that word clash, raiding of farmlands and communities, including rape, churches being burned. A whole lot of atrocious acts have been experienced in Nigeria. Now, no single tribe, however, should now claim that these atrocities that in Nigeria we are experiencing now is felt more by one tribe than the other tribe. The Yorubas are feeling it, the Igbos are feeling it, the Urobos are feeling it, the Edos are feeling it, the Middle Belts are feeling it. even Christian communities in the far north that share the same boundaries or regions with these bandits and terrorists are
Terrorist.
also suffering it now. So my gross is this: why is it necessary now to to absorb a common problem that everybody is feeling and make it look as if this is a problem between the Fulanis and the Igbos? This was what led to the civil war in the first place, whereby the Igbos alienated themselves and made it look as if it was Igbos versus the rest of Nigeria. And it is even more painful now that many years after, they seem not to have learned from the mistakes of the past. And to my understanding and to my own opinion, I think they are even compounding the problem that they found themselves in 1967, such that if, for instance, God forbid, another war broke out, they might just have to experience the same genocide that they experienced last. Because from 1967 till now, you have not been able to endear yourself to people. You have not been able to endear friendship to yourself. I told some of my friends a while ago that if a war between the Fulani and Igbo broke out today, the Fulanis will have people from other ethnic nationalities who will fight on the side of Fulanis, on the side of Igbos, who in the southern regions will fight on their behalf. I think your guess is as good as mine. It is safe to say that nobody will fight on their behalf. Then when you ask them, why is it that nobody wants to fight on their behalf? They will tell you that it is envy and jealousy. So when you have a people that have a psychology that makes them believe that, not believe that, when you have a people that have a psychology that alienates themselves, it only goes to show that they are not really ready for 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 the much acclaimed agitation that they are seeking. For instance, they will tell that they should make a referendum. When referendum come, we will know. And that is another delusion that I see most of these agitators heave upon themselves. They actually believe that if a referendum come, you are going to force people to vote in the affirmative, just as they are enforcing this sit at home. That is what they have. They don't know that when a referendum come, there will be international observers, there will be UN observers. So if at any point in time it is seen that you're actually forcing people to vote against their will, such a referendum is automatically nullified. And it is also wrong that you think your neighbors, talking about the Igbo's, the Robos, the Edos, it is also wrong for you to think that they will also vote in the affirmative for Biafra. And it is even also wrong to think that every Igbos is going to vote in the affirmative for Biafra, because this is the only time I've seen that what we see now, Igbos killing Igbos. I am not the one who say the videos are there. Very recently, you could see that a man who sent a viral virus that he narrowly escaped from a bus where the occupants were attacked, which left 3 of the occupants of that bus burnt to ashes. So you could see that there is more to what is driving this agitation than genuine need to be free. Let me take it from history. After the Civil War, I have said this in other videos. After the Civil War, Gowon said, "No victor, no vanquished." To be victorious, that you should already know. To be vanquished means to be humiliated. That is, if you check the dictionary for the meaning of vanquished. To be vanquished means to be humiliated. The truth is that whereas that remark was made, "No victor, no vanquished," I think the Igbos grabbed that humiliation. They felt humiliated in that civil war. And when people come out of a civil war, there are many problems to be solved. Problem of hunger, problem of psychology, problem of physical devastation, problem of disease. There are a whole lot of those problems. So I think After the Civil War, the Igbos felt a strong need to survive, and they found a need to spread outside Nigeria, and they started making the dollar or foreign currency, which at the time were superior to our currency. So they found a means to transport these finances back home. And good for them, they have this communal arrangement such that when somebody gets there, he brings somebody up through apprenticeship. So over time, a lot of them have found this means of survival to yield a lot of money. But what they failed to know was that this system has evolved money to become a culture, a tradition, such that the value placed on human being now is replaced by the assessment of the material acquisition that you have gathered. To this day now, relevance is placed on people who have acquired wealth. It doesn't matter how you have acquired this wealth, whether you have gone abroad and engaged in nefarious activities to get this wealth. All they know is that you came from abroad and you came back with money and you are celebrated. Now, in pursuing this one goal of material acquisition as a means to get out of the ashes of the Civil War, they forgot to repair the damage the psychological trauma of war may have caused on the psychology of the inhabitants of the defeated Biafra. There was the issue of diseases. These are people who were closed in and left to starve. And records have it that some members even were cannibalized. To be cannibalized means that human beings actually eating human beings. These are documented facts. Now, people who came out of that experience will definitely have a sort of psychology that is affected. Now, what is more unfortunate now is that those who are the young ones that are being born are reminded of this pain, of this pain. And somebody like Nnamdi Kanu came and repackaged this pain in such a way that youths who are exposed to this pain are automatically radicalized. So what is driving a lot of these youths in Igbo land is a radicalized mind that is justified by the pain that is opened up in their mind. What they see is that Nigeria has been unfair to them. There are people where millions of their parents were massacred in the past. But people like Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa only went to give them a side of the story that justified the pain that was intended to be sown in this youth. Believe me, sometimes I don't want to blame these youths with the activities that they are currently exhibiting.
Engaging now,
For
yeah.
yeah, for instance, because they are a victim of a psychological trauma that their forefathers failed to heal immediately after the Civil War. They didn't heal that. They replaced all those challenges after the Civil War with go to look for money. There was no medium to heal psychologically from the trauma of the war. There was no medium to get the pain of the malnourishment that was caused on them. So now that they have money, because indeed they are the most custodian of finance or cash in Nigeria, so they feel they have defeated the shame that Nigeria inflicted on them. They feel they have conquered the humiliation that Nigeria has inflicted
Inflicted.
on them. So they see now that because they have this money, they are now better than everybody. They see every other person as lazy. They see everybody as uh, because you are not inclined to make money, you are therefore not fit to be a human being because you are lazy. You forgot that those people who are not uh, making the issue of money as a priority in life are those who have other preferences above money. For instance, I can only speak for the Robo man. You are an Edo man. You can only speak for the Edo
For
man.
the woman,
The,
yeah.
the Robos have other priorities than money. For instance, we place our heritage that is in custody of our king as paramount. So our traditional heritage is very paramount to us. The institution of age bracket, eldership, if there's a word like that, is held paramount in our culture. So when we now see interrelating with people who don't have regard for kings, who don't have regard for elders, who who see who see the acquisition of money as the only means to earn respect in a community or society, we find it difficult to find ourselves to blend with such people. I followed my friend someday to his village, in Owerri to be precise, and because he's a custom officer and an immigration officer, when we went to the village, he had older ones who were not as fortunate economically as him, but I could see the type of respect that was placed on him above his elder brothers who were unable to achieve in life.
Chief. Mm.
Yeah, that is not found in my place. For instance, I'm the firstborn of my family. There is no younger one that will make more money than I do, and then will certainly go to the village and he will get more reverence than me. It's not possible. Even him himself will know where he belongs. His money does not earn him a place above his elders. It doesn't happen in my place, but it does happen in this people's place. But that's not the subject of today's discussion. The subject is for the Igbos to get their perspective right in our today's political system. The first thing they should need to know is that after the Civil War, there were problems they didn't solve. Paramount of those problems is the issue of post-traumatic war syndrome that has affected the psychology. When you remind anybody, any Igbo man about Biafra, he immediately remembers the Civil War. And the only thing he remembers about the Civil War is his brothers and fathers that were killed and murdered, the starvation that was brought into his land, the gang up of Nigeria against the Igbos. So
Mm.
he doesn't see and wants to know what led to
To
the
the war.
Civil War. As a matter of fact, that war was deliberately allowed to last that long, hoping that the Igbos will get their strategies right. I don't think, because they are feeling that, well, at that time they were able to hold Nigeria for 3.5 years. Now it will not be as long as that. I think, because when you read the Civil War, you hardly hear names like Abubakar, Samaila, Ibrahim. It was a war fought by us. We had a group of people at the far north who were just engineering us to fight ourselves. The history I have about my people, because when we discuss about the Civil War, it appears the Biafran soldiers never fired a gun, or the Biafran soldiers never killed anyone. But history have it that most of the people we lost in my areas were caused by the Biafran soldiers. As a matter of fact, it was some of our parents had to cry for the Nigerian military to come and save our parents from the advancement of the Biafran soldiers. So it was a war. When you go into war, you definitely know the repercussion. It is a war is killed or be killed. So when you rush into a war and didn't take stock of your disadvantage, expose yourself to the enemy to exploit those same disadvantages that you didn't take into consideration before going into the war. Now, when we do these things, we are not doing it because we want to make a case for Nigeria. I will always say, like, if you notice in all my videos, Nigeria is a failed state. Buhari is a failed president. Buhari has led a lot of people who actually invested a lot of faith in him. But the question still remains, why would you in the first place invest a faith in somebody who has every evidence to prove that he was nepotistic, he was nepotic in his approach. He was a tribal bigot, he was an illiterate. So what else were you expecting from him? For me, I'm not surprised that Buhari is what it is today. Now, my only grounds with the Igbos is that you are penalizing a fight owing from an issue that involves everybody. The Fulani Headsman Menace is something that pervades everybody, something that encompasses everybody. It encompasses the Edo man, it encompasses the Yoruba man. So now that it's a problem that robs everybody, why don't you try and work with people. And there lies the biggest problem of the Igbo man. He doesn't know how to work with people. He's a very self-centered person. And it's a culture too. That's why you see when people make money, there's a statement they make. They said, after all, you are not the one feeding me. They believe that since I am able to make my money by myself, since I'm able to survive by myself, nobody has a right to tell me what to do. So we have a population of people who believe that I am my own boss, gathered together fighting for a cause. Who is going to control a people that have a mentality that I am my own boss? Now, a person like Nnamdi Kanu is a very smart guy. I have my robo guys who say the guy is not smart. No, 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 no. The guy is a very, very smart guy. The guy is somebody who came and discovered the gullibility of his people, enhanced by the history of the Civil War. So all he needed to do was to tap on this gullibility and twist the narrative of the Civil War and, hack into the emotions of these people from a one-sided narrative of the Civil War. So if you see all these people chopping off people's penises, chopping off people's heads, burning cars, burning houses, they are fueled by emotions that is triggered by a narrative, a one-side narrative of the Civil War. You and I know that the period before the Civil War, we had Igbos scattered everywhere, all over the north. Mind you, if you have Igbos scattered, there's a parable that says that if you go to a place and if you don't find an Igbo man there,
You leave the place.
don't
Yeah.
you leave the place. Now, it also goes to show that for an Igbo man to reside in a place, it means that the people there welcomed him. So
Yeah.
if we have before the Civil War, a lot of Igbos, occupying areas other than their places, it means those communities were hospitable to them for them to occupy them. Because most of the people you heard that were massacred were people running away from the north to the east. We didn't have stories recording that Hausas running away from the north were massacred. So it means before the Civil War, a lot of people were um, open, hospitable to the Igbos. Don't forget, there was a time in Nigeria too when, because of the lack of skilled personnel or literate personnel in the north, you find a lot of Igbos coming into the north as teachers in primary school, teachers in the universities. They were the one occupying most of the parastatals, and that translated into the military as well. So I think it got to a point when they found out that they were basically running of Nigeria, just as we have the Fulanis today. There was a time in Nigeria, some of you young ones wouldn't know, but if you ask the elderly one, I think I am a connection between the very old one and the young ones. There was a time in Nigeria too when we have the Igbos in charge of the military, in charge of the civil service, in charge of virtually every parastatals that requires skill and education. So they were there. So we had some young military officers who felt that, well, if we are in charge of Nigeria in this manner, we could as well go the full length. And we had some young officers who went about killing monarchs of other ethnic groups, Amadou Bellowe, Akintola, and military officers from other ethnicities. And they actually thought they could get away. While they were doing this, they asked their own ethnic, they don't have kings, so ethnic elders to pretend they are not in the country, or their officers to pretend they are not in this country. And they felt people will not take stock of this. So it got to a point, of course, every action begets an equal and opposite reaction. So those were the preambles leading to the civil
Civil
war.
War.
Civil war. So you get me. So now the people on the other side didn't want. Of course, there are reasons why they didn't want the Igbos to go, because leaving the Igbos will go will catalyze other ethnic nationalities to also want to go. So it was a war fought by a group of people with allies. with a people who didn't think it was necessary to create allies. You get me? Although they will tell that Effiong is a job, blah blah blah. That is not alliance. Alliance is formed by creating size of your region, size of your army, and the size of the people you are fighting with. So it is wrong to establish the notion that the war had to drag that long because of the resilience of the Biafran soldiers. No, 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 no. It was the Nigerian soldier that wanted it to last that long because the last measure of blocking food supply, you cannot tell me that blocking food supply, the idea only came 3 years after or 3.5 years after. Blocking food supply could have taken place the first 3 months or the first 6 months. That stringent measure was taken just to as a last resort. Now, let me round up so I can ask other questions.
Yes.
I am not making this analysis because when you see an Igbo man listening to this, the immediate conclusion he jumps is that this man hates Igbos. But we cannot sit back and allow you to be agitating and causing chaos based on false narrative that was sold to you by somebody whose intention is to hack into your emotion. Now, this will have gotten into a place. If you've been watching my videos, you will notice that I told you that what started as pain has metamorphosed into hurt. And what metamorphosed into hurt has metamorphosed into bitterness. And what has metamorphosed into bitterness is now wickedness. Because it takes a unique type of wickedness to be hunting your own, identifying them as saboteurs, people who refuse to agree with your mode of operation and begin to behead them and begin to cut off their penises and begin to rape their wife. In fact, there's a video I refuse to allow to stay in my phone of a woman, a young, beautiful, pretty woman who was raped for 4 days and was begging for her life to be spared. She even went as far as saying that if you want to rape some more, excuse me, that you can rape, but just spare her life. And the young boys, these are young boys of 18, 19, 20, got angry and used a machete to chop off her head. Now, if an ideology can reduce people into that barbaric act, then one can safely say that, excuse me, sorry, I have kata, but
It's okay.
because of the importance of this video, I said we're going to do it anyway. So
thank you so much.
you get me. Now, when you have people reduced to the point of barbarism, but let me say barbarism. When you have people reduced to the point of barbarism, to the point of executing this atrocious act, now you say you are fighting a war, you are angry with the Fulanis. By showing your anger with Fulanis, the people you are attacking are your own people. There's a video of a lawmaker's house who was burnt down, and when they got there, they didn't see the man. They had to behead the gate man. Behead the gate man. What is the fault of the gate man by guarding the house of a senator just to make ends meet? You see, what is happening in the Southeast now is drawing attention to yourself. Today now, for the last 3 or 4 months, nobody is talking about the atrocities of the Fulanis. Nobody is talking about the failures of Buhari. Nobody is talking about anything that is wrong with Nigeria. The attention and focus is now in the Southeast. The attention and focus is now in the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. And if I know the Northern Cabal very well, they will use the case of Nnamdi Kanu as a perfect distraction away from their failures.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what they are doing.
That's what is happening.
They didn't bring him to court on the 21st of March. Abi, is it March or I don't know? Yeah, last month. Now they 26th, 26th of last month. Now they have moved the case to 21st of October. I can assure you that on 21st of October, they will not bring him to. They will still shift it down, because anything that will take the attention away from the failures of Buhari is good for them. So what is happening right now is the fact that the Igbos are playing into the script of the Fulani cabal.
Fulanis,
The
yeah.
same Fulani you claim you hate, you are playing into the script. So they were saying that they didn't send soldiers. Why would I send soldiers to you when my original intention is that the population of the Igbo should be depleting? So when you are going to deplete your population by yourself, why do I need to send the military to do that when you can do it yourself? The videos coming from the southeast now are young boys with guns, ransacking houses, identifying saboteurs and killing them, chopping off people's necks and heads and displaying them in town squares. Why would I send military to them when you can do what I originally want to do by yourself? So it's funny. Now we are here now not to spite the Igbos. That is not what we are here to do. We are here to although it is a fruitless, at this point, one can almost say that it is a fruitless endeavor because the damage to the psychology of this young mind is so deep. It took 8 years for Nnamdi Kanu to destroy this mind through Radio London, Biafra London. It took 8 years. So for us to think that we could take one broadcast to talk them out of this madness is foolishness, even on our own part. But then we can try. For maybe 2 or 3 can wake up and say, okay, I listen to this man. There's sense in what he's saying. You cannot fight grief. You cannot show grievances. You cannot chop off your nose because you are angry with your face. You cannot do that, and that's exactly what these people are doing. You don't. Okay, go ahead.
Sir, please. I want, because you said a lot of things. I wouldn't want a situation whereby because of time, we will not be able to cover a whole large aspect of what is currently happening now in Nigeria and the southeast and the Fulanis as at well. You made mention before I'm going to ask the next question, please. We will quickly want to go on a short commercial with Green Estate. This Green Estate is part of my sponsor.
Please, before you do that, you have to make. I need to be seeing you because it appears now I'm talking to myself. Let me be seeing you too on my screen.
Can you see me now?
No, I can't see you.
Oh,
I thought we'll fix this before the program.
Yesterday, were you seeing me when we talked yesterday?
Yes. Now I can't see you.
I really don't know why.
Okay, let's go ahead so that you don't go and touch something and then the program.
Can you see me now?
Back. No.
I really don't know what happened.
Should I log off and log in again?
I don't think that's the cause.
Okay, just show your commercial. Let's continue.
All right, please let me go on this short commercial and we'll come back on this topic that we are trying to educate Nigeria about. Thank you.
House Masters presents Green Estate in Edo State. Our estate is luxurious and reflects that magical merging of inspiration and architecture.
We build, buy, sell, lease and rent landed properties.
With great features like good road network, street lights, playground, swimming pool area, mini market, fenced and secured environment. Our land size is 450 square meters and we're offering a very flexible payment plan. The one-time payment plan goes for 450,000 Naira and 850,000 Naira respectively. Installmental payment plans also available for 40,000 Naira and 80,000 Naira monthly for 12 months. You can locate our sites at Ikoro Community, Upper Ekenwa along Ekenwa Road and at Oluku Bypass. For inquiries and inspection, please call 0815-838-4824 or 0810-504-0052 or visit our website at www.housemasterslimited.com. Our office is located at 14 Wire Road, Benin City. Green Estate, Edo State, powered by House Masters. This is powered by House Masters.
Thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. This is EIE Enough is Enough, and we have a guest in the house, Mr. Magnus. This morning we have a topic right in front of us. The Igbo need to get their perspective correctly. And the next question I'm about to ask, you talked about that the Igbos are playing to the script of the Fulanis. Because this, when I started my program, this was part of the narrative I was trying to educate the people about, letting them know that all these things that are going on is like a script you guys are playing into, like a part of distraction for us not to be able to get this administration on their perpetual evil act, and moreover, not to be able to plan for the future of Nigeria. Because as at now, the way the current situation of Nigeria is now, I don't think there is 2023 upcoming election. If even is going to take place, the people are not still going to participate because why? They are full of grievance, they are full of bitterness, and they are not willing to come out to exercise their right. So as at this point, I really don't know, because my own concern is to see how we could move Nigeria to the next level, whereby, because our previous generation, I'm a young man, with my level of age that I've spent on earth, I believe if I could not enjoy what my fathers could have planned for the country for me, why shouldn't the youth of today plan the future for our unborn generation to understand that, like, it is time for us to come into Nigerian politics and change the narrative? Regarding the Igbos, there are some groups that are coming out now and saying it is the turn of the Southeast to become the president of Nigeria. In
I
your
support
own
that 100%.
what will you say to that opinion for the Southeast? Because irrespective of what is going on, we still have to plan, be very optimistic, and see how we could move Nigeria to the next level. What will you say to the people that are agitating that it is the turn of the Southeast to become the president, to produce the president of Nigeria?
Beautiful. You see, one thing the Igbo man should realize is that they don't even understand how much people love them. They believe that people hate them. For some reason, I don't know why. They must first understand how much people love them and how much people want to help them. But we can't help the people that display the kind of apparent retrogressive characters that we are seeing coming from the Southeast. If Nigeria does not love you, people all across Nigeria will not have their lands open for you to be doing business and be enjoying from the proceeds of the business that you are doing across Nigeria. That you should know. I, for one, I say this without any pretext or without any hypocrisy. I strongly, strongly believe that it is time for an Igbo man to become the president of Nigeria. However, when you take stock of the political psychology of the Igbo man, you also say that they are not ready. These are people who somebody have told them that they don't need Nigeria. As a matter of fact, when you're talking about Nigeria, they come to you and tell you mockingly, sarcastically, that Indiwa Nigeria, that means Biafra is the only hope. Now, we must first let these people know that the Biafra, as they have epitomized for us, or the sample of the Biafra that they've given us, is going to be a worse case scenario than Nigeria as it is. Even if Biafra is actualized as an all Igbo country, as a monolithic ethnic country, it's still going to have the type of chaos that is worse off than the one we are experiencing in Nigeria. Because we do not have a people that are capable to agree in one thing, with one thing. Let me give you an example. Like the Yorubas. When the Yorubas were planning Amotekun, you never heard of it. You never saw any argument as to what the uniform color would be like or where the secretariat. All you just heard one morning, you just heard that they've launched Amotekun. If today we say, okay, the rest of the country, over 350 tribes, by the way, say, okay, we are not going to produce the next president. Let the Igbo produce the next president. But please, before morning, let the Igbo decide who they will bring out to be their presidential candidate that will represent the whole Igbo. I will tell you that before morning, about 10 or 12 people, maybe 200, maybe 100 people will die, because the argument will start. No, the president must come from MBC, the president must come from Anambra, the president must come from this, that. At the end of the day, you find people that are incapable of cutting out primordial distraction, mundane distraction. And that is the fact that there are some people in Igbo land who believe that there are more Igbos than others who speak the same ethnic tribe with them. Some Igbos will feel reduced that somebody coming from a less Igbo tribe should be the president. So you have a people, like I told you, no matter how we talk today, we'll still go back to the fact that after the Civil War, there were many fundamental psychological issues that were not fixed. Because if we say, okay, let the Igbo produce the next president, people will not. Right now, the Igbo territory is not an alluring environment to invest your political future. No middle belt man will place his political bet on the southeast. No northern man who is liberal.
Why do you say that, Sam?
And because there's this notion by the rest of Nigerians that these people are incapable of, arriving at a singlified resolve, a singlified resolution.
In addition to what you are saying now, I have a comment from a man from the north. He said the comment was so expressive that, like, he said, not that anybody will stand on the southeast to become the president of Nigeria. He said, but
Beautiful.
with the reaction they are, the perpetual act they are actually exhibiting in the country now, how can we be willing to give people that are not ready to coexist with people the mantle of leadership? Because
now, let me wait, please. The man who made that comment, perhaps because I can't read any comment here, I would like to talk to that man after the show. Let me expatiate. Let me expatiate on that. You see, the whole Biafra thing has now metamorphosed into a very hypocritical fight. Because when you say, okay, you say you want freedom for the Igbos, okay, we're going to create Biafra, but let the 5 eastern states go. They will immediately tell you that no, Biafra includes south, south, and southeast.
It's a problem. Why I'm saying this, anytime I have an Igbo friend that is always antagonizing me, when he say Brafa, I say, come on, I'm a Nigerian. He said, if I didn't accept Brafa, I'm an idiot. That I'm supporting Buhari's, I don't support what is going on in Nigeria, but I don't also support the agitation going on in Nigeria. Is it that because
let me add something too. Let me add something. The biggest mistake any South man will do, even the neighbors of the 5 states will do, is to accept to go into a country with the Igbos alone. That is the biggest mistake that we'll do, because they have shown within the last 1 year or so, they have exhibited their propensity to not adhere to the right to expression, even from their own kinsmen. An expression that is different from the supreme leader is met with gruesome penalties. So you cannot expect me now to confidently say Urobos to come and join Biafra when Igbos who are Igbos are suffering from not being able to express their opinion. If an Igbo could be met with the gruesome penalty of their penises being chopped off, their head being chopped off, what is the fate of an Urobo man saying no to the supreme leader? That one, your whole family will just cut off. So you see, it is hard now to sell presidency. Let me tell you again, it is the Igbos that have the people they need to free themselves from are themselves. I told you, I made some in my previous video. There's an analogy I made. I said, okay, do you know that in the House of Assembly, the Igbo as a tribe has the highest number of House of Reps in the red chamber? There are 5 states. That means they have 15 3 senators from each state. That means they have 15 senators. But these senators go there. You hardly see them when you watch proceedings from the Senate. You hardly see them resembling people who are working together. The last debate on the electronic transmission of vote, it was between Senator Abaribe and Senator Uzokalu on opposing side for a bill that will benefit the South. You can never see Fulanis doing that in the Senate, or the Hausas doing that on the Senate, or the Yorubas doing that on the Senate, only the Igbos. So you have a people who have the highest flow of street money or commercial cash. The highest flow of commercial cash is with the Igbo man. I'm an accountant, so I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
The actual transmission of money, the physical money, cash, everyday cash,
it flows around them.
So these are people who have the ability to influence the polity of Nigeria through their economic dominance. But what they have is individual wealth. They don't have collective wealth. I will explain collective wealth because Nnamdi Kanu discovered all these things, which also when he said that Igbos should be contributing money daily. Do you know that as at the time they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, there was this video I saw where they are fighting over $18 million of IPOB money in one account, which shows that these people are capable, rather than complaining of what Nigeria has not been able to do to you. You are actually capable of using the money that you already have by virtue of the opportunity of having to control wealth in Nigeria, control wealth in the USA, control wealth across the world. Do you know what it means for everybody across the world to be sending $500 to Igbo land to develop Igbo land? Believe you me, you have a Dubai in the making in the southeast. But you see, now them talk say where person where they cry, no they see road. You complain too much, and because you exert so much energy in your cries, you fail to see the advantage that God has naturally placed in you. You are the Igbos are survivalists. You can't they are like there's one advert of beetle in those days. When you see a big boot step on a beetle, the beetle will still wake up. These are the Igbos. They have this resilience to survive. They have 9 lives, but they complain too much because after the Civil War, there are many psychological effects that they failed to heal, and this oversight is what is destroying them today. They are filled with pain, and when you mix pain and pride, there's a music, pain and pride is killing you girls. Shame and pride is killing you girls. So there is this shame, otherwise represented by humiliation from the Civil War, and then pride. So when you see a mixture of pride and humiliation, it's a terrible mix. That is what is driving them. Because how do you expect an Edo man killing another Edo man because he's angry with the Fulani man? That can never happen in Edo land. Or how do you expect an Yoruba man killing another Yoruba man because he's angry with the Fulani man? It can't happen. The pictures coming from the southeast are not palatable. And we are worried because our concern is genuine. I'm sure today you, my host, the pictures that are coming from the southeast, you are not saying that God catch them or let them, it serves them right. I'm sure that kind of mind is not in you. Rather, you're feeling natural empathy for them, that why should the people be losing their lives unnecessarily because they are unable to get a political strategy right. Politics sometimes requires that you should keep quiet, but they talk too much. They are all over the internet space, annoying people, abusing people. Even in this video now, if you check the comment box, I'm sure you must have seen like 100 mumu, old man, useless man there on your page. So how do you?
So in addition to that, what will you want to say to the stay at home that happened yesterday? Because I really, all these things, I really don't know where they are getting all this ideology that is put in them. I really don't know how, because if they fail to because I'm coming out now, I'm live, I'm going to hold many citizens of Nigeria I'm going to call them irresponsible citizens. Why? Because they fail to handle their responsibility. If they think this agitation is going to result to something, they should have another rethink. I've been saying this, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, and I'm saying it again.
Let me quickly answer the answer. Let me quickly answer it before I forget my response.
Yes, sir.
You see, everything still boils back to the Civil War. I still tell you that after the Civil War, there's a fundamental post-traumatic war psychology that was not healed. And this thing has become like a genetic transmission to offsprings of people who experienced the Civil War. So to you, the war may have happened some 60 years ago. To this youth, it's like fresh, it's like yesterday. So it is what is driving them. Now, the Fulani man are very wise in this game. We said earlier on that they are playing a script that ropes them into the very script that the Fulani has written. They sit at home. Well, everybody has a right to protest the way he wants to protest. If sitting at home is how you want to protest because of your leader who is incarcerated in Abuja, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But enforcing it and meting out draconian penalties that results to actual deaths and loss of properties of people who fail to comply with this sit at home is where they are getting it wrong. Now, if you think what videos that are coming from the south is going to do Nnamdi Kanu good, what I tell these people is that you are compounding more evidence against Nnamdi Kanu for the north. For instance, if I were a Fulani man, I would say, okay, well, releasing Nnamdi Kanu is unsafe because even while you are in prison, look at the damage you are doing in your east. Imagine if you are released. So it's going to be total chaos. So it is safer for the Nigerian space to have Nnamdi Kanu continuously incarcerated. You should think El Zazaki is Buhari's kinsman. He's a Fulani man like Buhari. He's a Muslim like Buhari. If this Buhari can throw caution to the wind or become deaf to the rulings of the court to continuously incarcerate El Zazaki, who is Nnamdi Kanu, a bloody Yamiri, a bloody Arni, a bloody Kafiri. So this is the Nigeria that we live in. We all know Nigeria is bad. We all know that we operate a constitution that is inimical to the interests of the South. That we know. But fighting against this injustice does not mean we should be killing our own. It is people that fight wars. But when you are depleting your own population by tagging them as saboteurs, you think you have that population in excess, and then killing a few saboteurs will not reduce your population. Is the worst form of stupidity I can see anybody exhibit. I think this trader mentality, this idea of buying, selling, convincing a customer to buy product, whether the product is good for the customer or not, I think is what they are transmitting or translating into political strategy. What they fail to know is that political strategy is very different from trading strategy. So what I will not take away from the Igbo man is his ability to trade and make money. That I will not take away from him. But you cannot employ the same trader mentality into political strategy. Yeah. Political strategy requires that you first be humble, which is what you don't have. You don't have that humility. Take Buhari, for instance, when he was campaigning for presidency. This was Buhari who went to redeem and was kneeling down for Adeboye to be prayed upon, who was crying on screen. Do you imagine the same Buhari you see today crying on TV screen? It's impossible. That is because he knew when to be humble and he knew when to be violent. Now he has gotten what he wants. There's nothing you can do about it. So sometimes in politics, the end of the polity justifies the means. There's a simple law of politics which the Igbo man does not know. Politics is a game of numbers. Politics is a dirty game. And let me add a third one. You can do anything to win politics, provided you adhere to the 11th commandment. The 11th commandment is, thou shalt not get caught. We know that Buhari came into government by employing some very drastic, evil-motivated means to get into power. Nobody's going to revisit those means. He's now in power. And to you, you may think Buhari is a failure, but to his people and his brother across Niger, he is doing absolutely well. He's forcing his people into power. Very almost every aspect of the Nigerian security apparatus is being manned by his brothers and his religious partners. In terms of our economy, in every aspect of the Nigerian economy is being manned by his people and brothers. And the economic policies, it favors movement from the south to his people in the north and even his people in Niger Republic. The railway construction from Warri to Niger is a typical example in mind. So all these are atrocities we all know. But fighting against atrocities does not mean we go about attacking our own. What is the whole like? Sunday Igbo'S, see, I get very angry when they compare Sunday Igbo'S and Nnamdi Kanu. These are very two people. Sunday Igbo'S is very respectful to his elders. He didn't call himself a supreme leader. He was not, he was unassuming. His purpose is clear, to safeguard the Odua nation. In your own, you were mixing, in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, was mixing other very selfish interests. The idea that he has power to give life or give death. Where did you see Igbo say things like that? You have power to decide where to destroy or where not to destroy because you have 2 million followers. Jay-Z has close to how many millions? This guy in TikTok that does do it right, or how you do it right, is the highest followers on TikTok. He has over 90 million followers. That man has not said he has power to give life or give death. So it still boils down to the psychology of the Civil War. These are people who don't know how to manage wealth or power. They don't know how to manage things because they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely according to Lord's action. The truth is that even when you are in a bar, when you see a young Igbo boy walks in because he has a lot of money, you cannot help but notice his entrance because he wants to tell the world that he has conquered and he has made money. All this is an offshoot of the psychology of the post-traumatic war syndrome that has completely dented the psychology of the average Igbo man. So I think they need to work on that. Nobody's going to do that for you. You need to work on that. Everybody wants to, like the Yorubas, at a point where the Yorubas and their partners in political crime, the Fulani cabal, are now having issues. I think if we are good political strategists, this is the time that we should stretch an alliance hand to the Yoruba so that we can form a formidable alliance. Do you know why the Northern cabal are jittery over the coming together of the Southern Governors, the Southern Governors Forum? Because that is a gateway to what has been keeping us subservient or at the short end of the political stick to the North. If the Southern governors come together, it will lead to a unity of the South. And the Northerners will never want that unity to take place. If that unity comes together, we will take charge of Nigeria. And the Northern cabal have seen politics as a mainstay. Politics is now like an employment. It's not a service. Politics is not a service to the nation. Politics is an employment. It's an opportunity to take wealth from the South to the North. And even at that, you need to know how these politicians from the North spend the money they take from the South. They spend it on frivolities. Like the other day, I saw the wedding between Yaradua's daughter with, I don't know, one of these two prominent politicians' children. They bought 60 boxes of clothes and gold and jewelry. What are these? These are nonsense, if you ask. Complete nonsense. With all the opportunities that the North has had in power, the North still remain the most impoverished region in Nigeria. They still parade the most illiterate. In fact, they have made illiteracy and poverty as a bargaining chip. They have merchandised poverty and illiteracy. So much so that poverty and illiteracy is now a reason to get low cutoff marks in our JAMB results or in our common entrance result. Poverty and illiteracy has become a merchandise to negotiate for seats in the House of Assembly or to negotiate for monies to the North. Because the South has has an amnesty program for militants. They too, they want an amnesty program for terrorists. The militants in the South, they were not killing citizens. As a matter of fact, even those they abduct, when you see them released, they are looking fresh and better. You see them exchanging cigarettes with their abductees. So they have a clear motive of what they wanted. The people, when we had the Niger Delta militants, the inhabitants of the region where we have these Niger militants never complained of the Niger militants disturbing them or kidnapping them. But here we have terrorists who are abducting children from schools, who are burning churches, who are killing inhabitants, making life very uncomfortable for the ordinary man on the street. And then you want to compare these people and militants. That is not true. That is not true. So discussing Nigeria today will take a whole lot of many hours to exhaust it. But we can only talk about the ones we can talk. But you see, the Igbos need to get their political perspectives right. If the reason why they will, you see this Nnamdi Kanu's abduction, it will be something that I think the cabal will manage to a point whereby they will give a reason where 2023 election will not hold, and then they will bring maybe an interim government, which might also be a northerner or a southerner that can be a puppet to the north. You see, I am seeing the Southeast just playing a script to give the northern cabal a continuous hold on the political pendulum or the political steering of Nigeria. So why don't they swallow a chill pill? The political strategy also includes just sit and watch. You must not do something. You must not talk. Allow people to do the talking. We are all feeling the lapses of Nigeria. Everybody's feeling it. You are feeling it. I am feeling it. Everybody's feeling it. The middle belt are feeling it. Like when an Igbo man cries and said they are being marginalized, I said no. An Igbo man cannot claim to be the top 20 most marginalized tribe in Nigeria. In Plateau State, for instance, where I'm staying, there are communities that have been driven off their ancestral land and they are living in IDP camps. Their land, as we speak, are currently being occupied by foreigners. There is no land in Igbo land where they've driven away the inhabitants and are being occupied by different set of people. There is none. Not to say that you are not being, you are not, even as hard as Nigeria is, the Igbo man is one that is feeding better. Because as bad as Nigeria is, it has not spoiled your economic stranglehold on Nigeria. In just here, there are people still building. There's a place in the market, just a shopping complex that the man bought 450 million and broke it down. Imagine buying a small place of about 75 by 75, let's say 80 by 80 feet. 450 million, broke the place down and is erecting some place up, which means you have so much money to get a place and bring it down and build something else. So it means the economy, irrespective of how the polity is bad, it has not affected Igbo man from still getting new shops on major roads of streets across Nigeria. It has not affected the Igbo man's business in making money. Yes, we know that custom would like to impose different outrageous tariffs on goods imported by Igbos to Nigeria, but at the end of the day, you still transfer to the buying public. So either way, you still make your profit. So it's because they try to look at politics from only how it affects you, and that is not fair. That is not fair. Nigeria is bad for everybody. Let's come together and see it as a collective problem, as a problem that affects all of us. And if we agree that this problem affects all of us, then we should find a way to harmonize our strategy. Not a strategy that imposes a supreme leader on everybody. Not a strategy that suggests you go about hunting saboteurs and chopping off their penises and blockers, scrotum, by the way, or displaying beheaded heads on Market Square. These are draconian and barbaric acts that I have not known the Igbos for. But I wouldn't blame them. Frankly, I'm not blaming them. But when you have somebody who has been talking on radio for 8 years, you know, if somebody was 16 years ago, if you add 8 years to 16, he's 24. He's practically an adult. If somebody was 20 years ago, if you add 8 years to 20 years, it's 28. So you can see how much these minds have been damaged. In fact, there is no way you can even talk senses into these people. The only thing that they come now is to look for anybody talking about Biafra, and the only contribution they can have is mumu, idiot, useless man. You go die, you know, go die better. Your Oma, Ashawo, your Toto. Just these are the people that you want to share a country with. Come on. So you can ask that question. You know, I can keep talking
But you still
forever.
have some people from the southeast that believe that they are still one Nigerians, because
Of course, of course, of course,
yeah,
of course. But they
because
cannot talk. They cannot talk because they are
yeah,
afraid.
this is my take, because I'm not trying to use this opportunity to want to talk about anybody, but I just want to make reference to, because last week, I think, yes, last week, Obi Kubana was appointed as a youth ambassador to a brand
Mm.
that is under Nigeria. These people, is it that these people cannot come out and enlighten this
If I was
few
if I was the
followers?
president of Nigeria, I will arrest Obi Kubana and lock him up. Because you see, when you have so much money, I actually saw the video. You see, just because anomalies have been demonstrated for a long time does not give us the excuse to normalize anomalies. I saw the videos where people had stacks of 500 naira notes and 1,000 naira notes. Now, one stack, one roll of 1,000 is 100,000. A stack is 500,000. Two stack is 1 million. Right?
Yeah.
A bill, a roll of 500 naira is 50,000 naira. A stack is 250. So when you see people spraying one stack of 1,000 naira, that's 500,000. The second movement is 1 million. Next movement is 1.5 million, 2 million. And then you have stacks of money littered everywhere. First and foremost, where is the central bank supposed to allow the legal tender of a country being used in that form? We have Bill Gates, we have this young man, Mark Zuckerberg. These are millionaires.
Jeff Bezos.
These are millionaires in dollars. Where in European countries you see people treating their dollars that way? Where in the country? You see, this thing still goes back to the war. These are psychological defects that the Igbo man should have treated immediately after the Civil War. You have a people who have a culture that suggests that the only way you can express your success is the display of material acquisition. Material wealth. So that is why you have musicians who make money by singing praises. Managing director, Igbo'S Nigeria Limited, importer, exporter. You see, there is this vanity that if you sell yourself as somebody who have material things, you automatically earn respect in your society. Nobody wants, in fact, as a matter of fact, if you come swinging your grandiloquence that you have gathered from the many degrees that you had and you're a professor, people will push you aside and even flog you. If Obi Kubana and one professor come together and they want to talk, and they keep the professor in one side and the Obi Kubana in one side, I can tell that everybody will go to Kubana's side. I ignore the professor.
Mm-hmm.
That is how much the society has deteriorated. So if I was the president of a country, or if I was I would arrest him and lock him up for 2 years for mutilating the Nigerian currency in that manner. Because you don't need to display your wealth. Your works tell people about what you have done. When you die today, people will not remember you for the amount of money you have displayed. People will remember you for the lives you have touched. People remember you for some of these videos I'm making today is on YouTube. In about 10 years or 12 years or 50 years time, my children will remember that it was my father who said this. You get me? So, so there are things about me now that money can't buy. For instance, the depth of knowledge I have about my observations, my ability to observe political variables and make submissions from them. These are natural gifts. So there are people who respect me because of that. Even when I don't display material acquisition, they will respect me because of the knowledge of the type of knowledge I have in me. So that will earn me respect in certain places. You cannot just be flaunting money about and see it as respect. If people, if you have hard-earned money, you can't go about displaying which bank gave them. I thought they said there's a policy that says that if you are withdrawing 10 million, or if you are going to display 10, if you are going to deposit 10 million, there's a which bank gives you 10 million naira, you just go about it. And in fact, Nigeria is a mess. Nigeria is a mess. There are certain things we need to discourage. If I was the president of Nigeria, I'm going to discourage that kind of thing I saw in that Obi Kubana's burial. I'm going to discourage tithes and offering in Nigeria, though that's another topic. I'm going to discourage this type of spray, spray money and litter the money. There's so many things I would discourage.
that topic is topic
for another day.
That topic probably I will personally see how I could bring you in again into this program, because you see these are one of the things I was trying to want to talk about. I have a video I'm preparing. I want to talk about the people agitating from the southwest, people agitating from the southeast, and the people also from the northern region that has been enslaved because of religion.
For years. Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
These are three major problems. I think Nigeria need to fix these three problems before we could be thinking about how to move the country forward. Because
the Christians in Southern Kaduna, are the Igbos suffering like the Christians in Southern Kaduna? No.
Yeah, these are one of the things I was saying. Okay, this Fulani Enzme and the Boko Haram, it was later on we started feeling them intruding our land. Mainly their attacks were mainly on the northern regions before now. They recently started coming into the east, into the south and the southwest.
Let me quickly answer this thing. This part, before I forget it. You see, we Southerners we are not advanced. We are people who concentrate so much on food and sex and drinking. Do you know that the influx of these Fulanis all over Nigeria happened during the COVID-19 lockdown?
Yeah.
Just imagine, before the COVID-19, did you have all these Fulanis intrusion in villages across Nigeria? Did you?
It was real.
No, I'm asking because these are things you just see it happening, but you don't know. So the Fulani headsmen, they finish what they want to do in the north, so and they are still in Nigeria. So some people, I don't want to know, I don't know, just suspicion. Some political extremists who are in power decided to weaponize them, and then find a way to transmit them to the south, and perhaps maybe actualize the Uthman Danfodio dream of capturing the whole of Nigeria. You see, in fairness to Nnamdi Kanu, I am one person who will not debunk him 100% and say everything he's saying is a trash. It's just that he's an Igbo man who is also suffering from the post-traumatic war psychology that I said, that didn't know how best to approach the issues we all are seeing. They think they are the only ones seeing what we are seeing, and the fact that we are not doing anything, perhaps it's because we are slaves and we don't do anything. Yeah. Sometimes keeping quiet and observing a political event is also a strategy. And that is what the Fulanis have above us. They don't react. I can tell you that capturing Fulani was a long, outstanding plan that requires patience and observation. So, but if it were us, would have been. In fact, let's not talk about that. So, the country is so bad. Actually, it's bad. There are so many issues that is bad. Fulani invasion is real. The intention to Islamize Nigeria is real. Everything he's saying is real, but
there is something. There is something.
You cannot.
There is something when I was growing up.
Hold on. Let me just give me 10 seconds. Let me drink water. There's nobody here to give me water, please.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. Viewers, before we have Mr. Magnus back, let's quickly go on a short commercial, and I will join you back when we are back from this commercial.
Showing up in style inspires great confidence. IVM G5T appeals to class.
Time is of the essence. With IVM Kappa, business and meetings are always on the go.
Fun time with the family. Thank you to IVM King. IVM Kara is always stealing the show. Isn't she beautiful? Influence defines a great leader. IVM Seriki is Africa's commute king. Strong, reliable, and durable. With the concept of regionalization, Innocent Vehicle is committed to satisfying its customers with producing their everyday dream cars.
IVM, pride of African.
You're welcome back, sir. We were trying to, I was trying to say something before we went on that little commercial. When I was growing up, we heard the word Wazobia. I wasn't too hearing of the Fulanis then, because all of a sudden the whole agenda of Fulani emerged. And to me, I still believe when Nigeria was being like after the colonial masters, when we decided we want to be independent and all of that, the three major tribes that we know was the Yoruba, the Hausa, and the Igbo. But now it is now become, because I watched an interview from a man from the Fulani instigating that like they can still produce the next president because
I can see you. I can see you now.
You can see me now. Okay. At least that sounds good. That keeps us on the same page, because
it's like I scrolled. I didn't scroll it well. Oh. You know, this is your app. I'm using it for the first time. So we have spent 1 hour 17 minutes. Okay. I can see everything now.
Okay. So
please hold on. Please. What's the nature of the comments there? The comment I can't see. There is the same mumu idiot and all of that. Abi.
People are saying the comment here. People are watching. Some are saying Nigeria needs to be restructuring, and some
actually
are saying
that's true.
Yeah, we've not gotten negative comments all along the conversation. We're gonna get more. I know we're gonna get more hate speech from this whole thing we're doing, because the perception and the narrative from those people agitating is, if you fail to agree with them, they see you as
against them.
They see you as an enemy. They see you as somebody that is a slave to the Fulanis. I'm not a slave to anybody.
God forbid.
I'm looking for a better nation. And as at that, if we want to play politics, let's get involved on this politics. Because you can't sit down and say you want change, and yet you are not participating on that thing.
No, you want the people to just give you things free.
It doesn't work. Free, you see. This is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say, initiate, is this: the Fulanis I will consider the Fulanis as minority in Nigeria.
They are
minority in Nigeria, because the three major tribes are the Igbos, the Yoruba, and the Hausas. But now the Fulanis have marginalized the Hausas in the northern area. Because I don't want to say this because I don't want to cause a tribal conflict. There are a lot of things, information that I have regarding how they came into from the east of the Congo and all of that. They invaded the northern region, and how they marginalized the northern people and all of that. We don't want to go into that. But my concern is this: these three particular places, the north, the southeast, and the Southwest, they should please allow us to see how we could bring Nigeria back to life. I will go by the North. The North are being marginalized. The Northern Kaba are using religion, because if you check it now, you made mention of poverty and lack of education.
Illiteracy.
If you're talking about illiteracy, go to the North, you will see that they don't go to school because why? They've used religion to tie them to the extent that they don't see education as an important role in their life anymore. And
Very
now
true.
the Southeast now are now agitating because of the wounded mind they have from the Civil War. And now the Southwest are now also agitating. If these three places I've made mention now are able to put away all these things, put away religion, put away the evil mind concerning what has happened in the past, and try to see how we could restructure this country.
It will be very difficult for the North to keep away religion, because the importance of religion in the North is religion is a tool that enhances oligarchy in the North. Oligarchy is a system that suggests a group of people accept that they are born to be poor, and another group accepts that they are born to be rich. Look, in the North here, if I am perceived to be what is this rich people, how they call them for here? Elite in Hausa. Talakawa na poor people. Rich people na, oh God. There's a name they call that, I forgot. My Hausa don't fail me. So the Talakawa are the poor people here. Sure, you get me? Then the rich are the Samaria. Okay, the rich. Now, religion is for the poor here. They are the ones that go to the Almajiri, beg on the street. Then they use them for election, disorderliness, war, and the rest. Whereas the rich go. When I was schooling in University of Maiduguri then this person was SARS. What's his name? Modu Sharif. Modu Sharif was the governor then. I was on a bike and they just took one corner. I saw one house. The fence was gold plated. You can imagine a fence, almost 8 plots, completely fenced with gold fence. Everything about that house was gold. You can imagine then the surrounding houses are just maybe this small. I know do and make I get my 2 flat. That cannot happen in the South. We cannot just see you come and display wealth in us without evidence of people you have touched their life or what you have done in the community. It doesn't work that way. So, but it can happen in the North because there is a psychological system where some people have been placed that they are poor. They wake up in the morning, go to the houses of the rich to go and beg for handouts. So this is a system. So the religion, if you cut these youths away from that religion and tell them that they too can be as rich as the ones that they go to beg handouts for, you can imagine the type of chaos you'd have caused. What is happening now is that the number of youths now has overwhelmed these handouts that they are getting. So a new way of getting money like kidnapping, terrorism has come. So they are shipping them to the South to offload the excesses of the dependence on the elites in the North. So there's a big problem on our hand, a very, very big problem on our hand. So if we could get the Igbos to come to get it act together so that we can join heads, we need their population to think, and we actually need them. We need them because of their population. But with the damaged psychology, they become a problem. So my biggest problem now is, how do we get them to reason outside this Biafra that will never come? They actually believe, look, in fact, in reality, they believe this Biafra is real and it's going to come one day. They really believe it. I don't know. I try to see how, because anytime I sit with them, I say, okay, how will the Biafra come? Just tell me. I just need to know. I can't just be believing in something that it will come. I need to have a mental picture, a roadmap on how it will come. They will tell you, don't worry. Don't worry. Nnamdi Kanu has promised us that it will come. But how? So you mean you can just follow a plan without knowing how? There is no plan that will take place in the North, whereas even the sugarcane seller on the street will not know how the plan will come. It is because they have an idea of how the plan will come. That's why everybody is able to key in. How do you allow people to key in a plan where you don't have a mental roadmap of how that plan is going to actualize? It's funny to me. So the problem is, how do we get these people now to say, okay, my guy, this way they pursue for the past 8 years, when I don't pursue this thing, they work. Why not we join your strategy and the Edo man strategy and the Yoruba man strategy and the Yoruba man strategy? Let's formulate it to be one. Now we have an opening. The governors of the South have come together. By the way, I created a page on Facebook. Presidency must come to the South. If you are listening and you feel like joining, please just search on Facebook.
All right.
Presidency must come to the South. I think I prepared that page in preparation for when the campaign, this thing will be hot, because we need to start something rather than this complaining. We are basically just playing into the hands of. In fact, we're even writing the script for them. We're even writing the script. So the fact that they've known that the Igbos can react this way to the continuous incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu, hey, we can actually use this to our advantage. Why not keep holding him while they keep killing themselves? We don't even need to send soldiers to the place. We don't need to send police to the place. They'll be killing themselves. And if election comes and we see that we are unable to stop the killings, we say, okay, because of the insecurity in the Southeast, election cannot hold. We are putting an interim government. They bring El Rufai to become president of the interim government. What would you say? You won't say anything. You won't say anything. So why not we calm down, talk less, and think more?
So you think if this whole situation of agitation here and there continues, there will be no 2023 upcoming
of
election?
course, you cannot hold an election in an unstable environment. How do you hold an election in an unstable environment? You can't. So we are basically, do you know the Middle Belt? The Middle Belt have more reason to be agitating, but they can't. So rather than facing a military when you don't have the corresponding weapon to do so, what do? You accept the reality that you have been boxed in and think more. Right now, the only option available to everybody is working together. Now that Benue State is having problem with the cabal, don't you think it's time that the South is okay? The southern governors, okay, we are going to hold a meeting and then we invite Samuel Oton as an observer. You see, we don't grab Benue State like play. Take inside it. We have 17 states in the South. By the time we don't invite Benue State, you see, we don't become 18.
Equal.
Small time, we invite Taraba State governor. You see, we don't become 19. That is how you play politics. We talk too much and we cry too much. You see, imagine who do I put? Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, who you know as a speed star, as a good runner. And you, for instance, they put you in a 100-meter dash. And then suddenly you are in front of Usain Bolt. And Usain Bolt is complaining there, I didn't hear the gun shoot. I didn't hear this thing. I didn't hear this thing. Everybody will be like, why are you complaining? Even though the guy took off first, you can still overtake him. Why are you complaining? So this is the same thing. This is the same scenario I find the Igbo man. God has blessed you with so many things. It has blessed you with population. You have good number of population. As a matter of fact, if you know how Igbos are scattered in Nigeria, they are so populated, so much populated that the current place they call South is the 5 states cannot take the population of all Igbos across the world. It's not possible. They have outgrown the space that they have. They have the highest representation in the House of Assembly, in the red chambers. They control the economy of this country. How can you be blessed with all this advantage and yet you deliberately don't use this to advantage? Rather, you want to take the position of crying and complaining that you are being marginalized. Now, you are unable to use this advantage to your own benefit because you lack the ability to harness yourself into producing one perspective for the Igbos. That is the problem.
So in the context of all this conversation for today, because I want us to wrap up everything, what is your advice to this. I made mention of 3 regions because these are the South South are not complaining, irrespective of what is going on. We believe
we are the most marginalized. The South South is the most marginalized people in
yes,
Nigeria.
of course. Where the resources of the country is coming from is from the South South, but yet people are not looking at that side. We want to play the politics. We want to see that there is change in the country. And we believe the only way we can effect this change is for us to go in line with the political ways on how these people are playing the same politics and marginalizing us in our own land. But what is your own advice for these 3 regions I've made mention
Okay,
of? Because
my advice,
my
advice to the northern region is that, you see, you can play this mischievous politics for so long, but sooner or later it will catch up with you. Sooner or later, it's not going to last forever. The only thing that is encouraging this seeming domination of the North in the Nigerian politics is the inability of the South to work together. When I say South, I mean South is South, South, Southwest. Is their inability. This is why they are working assiduously to discourage the coming together of the Southern governors, because they know that if the Southern governors come together and it becomes a reality, it will culminate into the unity of the South. And for the North to continue to enjoy the political lopsidedness, the South must continuously remain disunited. And the coming together of the governors is what is going to change the status quo, the narrative. So I'm going to advise the North to know that the current political state that enables you to enjoy Nigeria, it's not going to last for a very long time. You know, it's going to end very soon. We were not politicians before. In the 80s, 90s, 2000, the South were not too politically inclined, but recent events has forced us to begin to consider our involvement wholesomely in politics. And that is going to short-live your mainstay in politics. So I strongly advise the North now to start now to begin to develop their youth in terms of education, which is very, very important. The idea that people can actually study and get 170 or 160 or 130 and still gain admission into the university that is scoring way below average and still gaining admission is going to stop. We cannot continue to build a Nigeria of the future on mediocrity and lack of merit. It's not going to work. And it is because of this ideology of building on top of demerits and lack of equity. That's why the North has continuously remained so undeveloped. I told somebody yesterday, do you know that in Katsina, that people are still, the mode of transport is machine. There are no taxis in Katsina. That shows you they are not even supposed to be a state yet. When you are in a state capital, you can't stop a taxi to take you to where you are going. It shows that it wasn't supposed to be a state in the first place. And Kebbi, Yobe, these are not supposed to be states, but we have a political situation whereby the military just came in and create states just to heap their burden, to heap their burden of governance on the South. Everything that is governing the South, these states today, Yobe, Katsina, Jigawa, it's well from the South. So this is my advice, because the Northerners, there's a limit to which you can play this political intimidation that you have enjoyed for so long on the South. It's going to end very soon. And because we are getting wiser, right now the Yorubas have become wiser, the South have become wiser. It's our Igbo brothers now. We are waiting for them to become wiser so that we become the 3 wise men from the South. So we have 2 wise men now, the Southwest and the South.
Because the 3 wise men, I think, actually, yes. All right.
Yeah.
What when we say for the Igbo brothers?
No, I want to keep them for the last. Our Yoruba brothers, we like to say it's a good thing that they are now wiser, because they at one point, the romance with the North, they thought it was okay, because the Yorubas, they only cling to what is good for them, what is good for Odua. Once anything is good for Odua, the rest can go to hell. That's their own type of politics. But for the first time, their political perspective has grown beyond that. They are willing to work with the South-South. Surprisingly, they are even willing to work with the Southeast. But like we said earlier on, what is happening in the Southeast, it's not endearing enough to encourage people to invest their political future with them. So it's okay. The Yorubas have demonstrated strong political examples, such as the ability to grow beyond religious and ethnic divide. Anytime the Yorubas want to go into politics, they have a way of not allowing religion and ethnicity to go beyond them. It is the body of Odua that drives them, which to me is a fantastic political ideology. As for the Igbo brothers, they should know that we don't hate them, and nobody envies or jealous you. They hold this idea that people are envious and are jealous of them. That is not true. I don't think you, host, you are envious of the Igbo man. Nobody.
No, I love them.
We are not from a culture whereby the quantity of money you display determines how much you are loved or liked. No, there are other factors, basic human factors, that determines how much we want to be respected, such as age, such as wisdom, such as honesty, such as ability to relate and ability to keep the peace. There are so many things that defines a human being than the acquisition of material wealth, which you all know is vanity. So Biafra is a pipe dream. You must believe that Biafra is not going to work. You are not even going about it the right way. You are not even. You don't have the ability to even make friends. You are alienating yourself. Every day you are creating more enemies to yourself. People are not willing to do anything with you, not because they are envious of you, not because they hate you, because they don't have the ability, because you are not trustworthy. You get me? We cannot associate ourselves with you when tomorrow you can just begin to identify saboteur and start chopping off their pennies. I'm sure this my beautiful host here love his pennies so much. I'm sure you have not finished using your pennies. I still love my pennies so much. I never finish using them. To can't go openly put myself for country to can't cut them off. I dey fear. I still want to use the pennies. Take enjoy small, I beg. So I don't want it to be chopped off. I don't want it to be chopped off. So the truth is that you have to be in the kitchen to determine what kind of food you want to eat. You cannot be outside the kitchen and cook the food you want. So play the politics. Like I said in my videos, to change the program in the computer, you have to be in custody of the keyboard. So you can only be in custody of the keyboard to change what program the computer is running on. So you cannot just be crying and crying marginalization, crying oppression, crying Fulanis in our bushes, Fulanis marginalization. You want freedom. Freedom from what? You are not under any bondage in Nigeria. You can fly out of the country whenever you want to. You can become the president if you choose to. You can become anything you want to be in Nigeria. You can go to anywhere in Nigeria if you want to and create shops, as many shops as you want to. So how come, in what way are you being marginalized? Or in what way do you need freedom? You have to be in the game. In everybody's mind, everybody wants the Igbo man to become the next president. You don't know it. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know that I'm supporting an Igbo man. I didn't know he supports an Igbo man because I'm sick and tired of the Hausa man's leadership and the Yoruba man's leadership. Let's give it to the Igbos. Let's see what they bring. Let's see what they will bring on the table.
On the table.
But you are not giving us the encouragement. If we support the Igbos, they are going to do something better than what the other two have done in their stewardship as leaders of Nigeria. So I think it's time to have a rethink. And then the leaders of Igbos too, you are falling short of your responsibility. If you are true leaders, you should have taken charge of the situation in Igbo land rather than allowing one man to describe himself as supreme leader, directing the loyalty of the youth to himself while putting the leaders of Igbo land in the side corner. And for those who are sponsoring the calamities in Igbo land, because it is not the Fulanis that are sponsoring the calamities in Igbo land, it is Igbos abroad who have excess dollars to spare that are pushing money. Do you know why they stopped a translation of Naira direct from abroad? It's because of things like this. Today now, whatever money you are getting into Nigeria must go through the Bureau de Change, which are mostly Hausa people or the North. So whatever money you are sending into Nigeria now, directly translate to more cash to the Northerners. So it's funny. So all we are saying is that as an Igbo man, please stop the madness. Get it on the game. Let us form the three wise men. The wise men from the southwest, the wise man from the south, and then the wise man from the southeast. Two wise men have held hand. There's a arm, there's a hand stretched to you, an arm stretched to you with hands open. All we need you now is just to put your hand so that we can hold our hands together and form the three wise men from the south, so that we can get this country and change it into a country that is beneficial for all, including the northern terrorists who are terrorizing Nigeria, not only for the south alone. We want a president from the south who can have an interest of the entire Nigeria into his heart. Jonathan tried that, but we didn't understand him then. We want a Nigeria who will be thinking about development across Nigeria. We want a president who will be taking Nigeria for Nigerians, not a president who will be thinking of Nigeria for Nigerians and Niger. I support the idea that the name Nigeria should be changed. Maybe it is because Nigeria resembles the name Niger. That's why people from Niger, I schooled in University of Maiduguri. Believe you me, people from Nigerians, they work in Nigeria as more confident than Nigerians. So I support a change of name and a change of constitution so we can start afresh. Now we can only have a southern president in power for these things to work, for these things to work to be realized. So I strongly beg the Igbo. I'm begging. If I could go on my knees, let me go on my knees. I beg. I do on my knees. I beg. I beg. I beg una. Now for only my elders, please. Let's come together. Let's stop the madness of dog eating dog. You are not dogs. It's only dog they say eat dogs. They are not dogs. We are human beings. The idea that one human being can kill its own kind is barbaric and unthinkable and should be condemned wholeheartedly. Whatever reason, whether it's a saboteur, it's just somebody expressing a different opinion, should not culminate into him losing his life. So I want to say thank you for having me, and I hope my contributions are far-reaching and made positive impacts to listeners.
Thank you. The last part of the conclusion of this interview is something that I will want to thank you for, because this is also part of the reason why this program is in existence. I want everybody to come together so that we can realize a transformed nation. Because if we don't do this, trust me, the next government that is coming is still the same government that is going to sabotage the affair, or the citizens of Nigeria, going to enslave them and ensure they cover the corruption of the previous government. What you just did not just demonstrated something that I believe, if you are an Igbo man, you are watching this program, please, we are begging you, put away your agitation. Let's come together. This is time. We think there is time. There is no time. Time is fast ticking. Before you knew it, now this year is gone. And once 2021 is gone, 2022 campaign start. Are we going to be waiting for these people to come and elect somebody for us again? What are we doing? We are waiting for you that is agitating for Biafra to put these things away. Let's come to realization that Nigeria is what we should put first before any other thing. Let's put our emotions away. If you are from the northerners region, please don't say because this man comes from your religion, you want to support him. Please, let's fairness and justice. Let it go round among us. If you are from the northern region, please don't fail to give your support to a rightful candidate that is willing and ready to call Nigeria, call everybody one Nigeria and move Nigeria forward. And if you are from the southwest, please, let's come together. We need to come together. We want to see a nation whereby our people will stop running away from home, going outside the country, seeking for greener pasture. There was a video that was sent to me yesterday from the people that were held in Libya. Our people that was held in Libya, the people are enslaving them there. And a lot of our people are dying in Mediterranean Sea day in, day out. Nobody's talking about that. Our people have been enslaved in every other country, but yet nobody's talking about that. What are these people searching for? They're searching for greener pasture. But if we come together, we change the narrative of government. We've been able to elect somebody that we know is credible enough. Because one thing I'm begging all the TV channel in Nigeria, please, we are not going to elect a president in upcoming, if 2023 election is going to take place, we're not going to elect a president without you having them on a debate. We want to have them on a debate. Let them come and accuse themselves on how better they are to rule Nigeria. Because if we take a down look at the agenda our current president told us he's coming to do, he told us that he's coming to fight corruption. And I see corruption as not an agenda for a president to be holding, to want to come to serve a nation that they don't have employment, where we don't have employment, we don't have good roads, we don't have electricity, and we don't have good hospitals. So these are some of the things we should be looking at if we want to elect a candidate, someone that will come and put all these basic amenities in place. Thank you so much, Mr. Magnus. Your last name, please.
Mr. Magnus who? Oraka.
Oraka, yes, Mr. Magnus Oraka. Sir, I will be very glad to want to have you again on this program, because I know that there are some problems that we've not been able to talk about. I want us to talk about this so that we'll get our mind prepared. We need to get prepared, because if we leave them for who we believe say it go fit do, and they are not doing it, and we fail to take responsibility of it, we will continue to lavish ourselves in suffering and rejection. So please, I will be very honored to want to have you back on my program. And viewers, thank you so much for listening to Mr. Magnus.
You said people didn't call in again, so maybe next time.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, okay, because people that are going to call in, if we give them opportunity to call in, are most likely the people that are going to say you are a mumu, you are no. We don't want somebody.
Hey man, these people are damaged. Honestly, these people are damaged.
If I show you comments, you will be, because I don't support. I cannot. There was a program a guy was holding. The guy is from Edo State. I'm from Edo State. I'm an Esa man. You understand? Edo State has 3 constituencies. I wonder, even at this modern age, somebody will say one tribe is under another tribe. You don't need to. We are not living in the old era where people are being enslaved. Everybody are living today as equal in Nigeria. That is the existence of Nigeria. Equalness, fairness, and justice. No tribe is under any tribe. So the guy came out. The guy was ranting. He was saying all sorts of things, because I will not sit down here and insult my elders, or rather come here and want to insult the Oba of Benin. Why will I do that? Am I stupid? I'm not senseless to want to come and do. Everybody have their faults. Everybody have where their weaknesses, where they are doing things that are not right. That doesn't give you the opportunity to come on social media and start making things that are not right about people. You understand? So the guy came out and said the Benins are trying to enslave the Esan. He was trying to cause conflict where there is no conflict. So I told them categorically that he said the Esan belongs to the Biafra. I said, no, we are not Biafra. There is no way you can tell me I'm a Biafra. I cannot be a Biafra. I'm a Nigerian. By birth, I grew up to see myself as a Nigerian. And as at that, I'm not going to let anybody want to lure me into something that will never come into existence. So the conversation was going on and on and on. People were making comments and all of that. I told them, I said, listen, Edo State comprises of 3 senatorial districts. We are the central. You have the south and the north. So as at that, let's leave it at that. Nobody is under anybody. You people should not create more trouble. Ignore what that guy is saying, because why? He's trying to gain popularity. This is what people do on social media now. If you just come and now say, oh, hey, Biafra for social media, before you know, you followers.
You don't get 50,000 followers.
You understand? Because all these people want to hear is that you want to support them. But if you don't support them, you'll be mumu. We are tired of this. Let them leave that heart of like trying to want to separate them. I have some Igbo friends that are very focused. Like the last man I had on my interview last week, it's from the southeast. Is aspiring to be the president of Nigeria, which his goals and his vision concerning the analysis he gave me, the blueprint, like he had narrated everything. If such a person come into presidency, he can achieve those things because he said one thing that I'm going to believe him for. He said if after 4 years he did not do anything, he will personally resign. This is what is affecting Nigeria today. The president elected, if even they fail, they will not want to resign. They will still want to retain themselves for another 4 years. I just want Nigerians to come together so that our electoral system will be working. So that if somebody elected after 4 years, look at America. In the history of America, last administration was the only administration that has been voted at after 4 years. Others have been ruling 8 years. But because the people felt it is our time, they want to create another atmosphere for themselves because the things going on are not right. They came out, they exercised their right, and their voice was heard. So this is my take to Nigerians. If we think things are not done in a proper way in this country, let's come together and go into our political system and ensure that our political system, our electoral system is working. I know INEC is a big problem to Nigeria because I will believe my next invitation, I'll be inviting you. I want us to want to talk about INEC because INEC, I think, is a big problem to Nigeria. When I was 7, I was sent to INEC office. I knew how the boss on the top used us to manipulate that electoral result on that time. That from then, my ideology about INEC changed. I knew that INEC is a big problem because that is where they manipulate results of what the people like.
That's why people are agitating for electronic transmission.
Yes.
So whatever happens at the polling unit goes straight to a collation center. You don't need to be traveling and counting votes again.
Okay, sir. Please, our next, by the grace of God, God keeps us alive. Our next interview, sir, I want to invite you into our program so that we could, because most often now Nigerians are very...
I have so much to talk about that electoral system. In fact, I wrote a proposal to INEC, but they didn't respond back.
Thank you so much, because a lot of people now will say, does my vote count? These are also a part of discouragement for them to understand that, like, we need to come out and exercise. If they come out to exercise their right, let their vote count.
If our politicians, if our politicians stand by us to ensure that our vote counts, our vote will count. If the North is dishing out figures, outrageous figures, who says that Bayelsa cannot bring a figure of 30 million votes? This is politics. It's dirty. We are playing politics of book. This is politics. You have to play on the mud. It's like somebody's playing politics and has jumped into the mud. You are still walking around the mud saying, no, I don't want my body dirty. Meanwhile, it's already my brother. When the time comes, we'll talk about this.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me today. And it's a pleasure having you on my program today. And I look forward to have you more.
Anytime.
We could discuss on Nigeria issue, because we have to get our mind prepared for 2023 if this agitation did not
Please
stop.
tell your viewers to join the page. Presidency must come to South in 2023. I've created it.
You can hear him. Please visit what did you call it?
Presidency must come to South in 2023.
Presidency must come to South in 2023. Please visit that page and join that page. Let us join hands together and see how we could transform Nigeria and change the narrative.
The presidency that we say must come to South is not a presidency for Southern interests alone. No. Presidency from South that will carry the whole of Nigeria along.
All right.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure having you. And my viewers, thank you so much for watching. This is EIE, Enough is Enough. And I'm Donado Baedo, the presenter of this program. And we just interviewed Mr. Magnus Oraka, who is from... Where do you reside, sir, please?
I am in Jos, actually.
All right. God bless you, sir. And
but I'm from Delta State, too.
I know you are from Delta State. And I will be looking forward, sir, to have you again on my program so we could discuss the problem affecting Nigeria and what we could do to see that Nigeria be able to experience a credible and a fair and a healthy election in
Sorry, I hope this my kata did not disturb your program. I did want to tell you that I have kata.
You've apologized to the viewers, and I hope you get better between now and our next interview.
No problem, no problem.
Please, my regards to your family, and thank you so much for joining me, sir. God bless you.
Okay.
And have a nice day. Enjoy the rest.
We'll talk after the show, Nabi.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah, viewers, you just heard from Mr. Magnus Oraka. He has given us the tip of an iceberg, tip of everything that we need to understand. Because when I'm saying this, I'm not saying this for my personal interest. I'm saying this because why? I want a better nation for all of us. You out there agitating for Biafra, I know you're going to call me a stupid man. You're going to call me a useless man. You're going to call me all sort of names. I'm not saying this because I hate you. I'm saying this because I love you. If a government can be able to hold your leader, who are you that they cannot trap? Please, I'm asking you, please. We don't want any more bloodshed in that country. Let's come together as one. If a good government come in and decided to want to grant the referendum for every region, then it will surface. But I'm asking you, agitating for Biafra. I'm asking you, agitating for Oduduwa. I'm asking you from the northern region that believe in your political cabal or the name of religion. Please, we have to come together. We have to put all these things aside and look at the future, because if we don't do this, we are failing to do the needful. And as at that, our responsibility, we are leaving it behind. I don't want us to be called irresponsible citizens. This is our mother's land, and as at that, let's do everything possible to retain our mother's land. We want to see a land whereby we will build upon our children, and our generation to come. This is EIE, enough is enough. And I remain your favorite brother, your humble friend, a great diaspora from Canada. I'm the host of this program. My name is Donald Obaidu. See you same time, same program, and see you on Saturday. And God bless you. Bye for now.